Hello and welcome to your dream vacation, Eritrea. This long, warm water coastline and abundance of historical and archaeological and natural sites, Eritrea has much to offer as a tourist destination. Eritrea is an African country occupying an area of 121,320 square kilometers, which makes it slightly larger than the state of Pennsylvania. It borders Sudan to the north and west, Ethiopia and Djibouti to the south, and the Red Sea to the east. Its land borders extend for 1,630 kilometers, while its total coastline is 2,234 kilometers. Eritrea's capital, Asmara, and its 9 other major cities, Asab, Maswa, Keren, Bartu, Adike, Dekember, and Akedora. Just be careful on where you go as they're traveling near its borders, but in its major cities, Eritrea is amazing. The natural environment of Eritrea. There's a lot to talk about, so Eritrea can be divided into 3 major climate zones: the Central Highlands, the coastal region, and the Western Lowlands. Each has a different climate pattern. In the Central Highlands, the hottest month is usually May to June, with highs around 27 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. Winter is between December and February, with lows at night that can be near the freezing point. Asmara itself enjoys a pleasant climate all year round, although it can be quite cold at night in winter. There are 2 rainy seasons, the short rains in March and April, and the main rains from late June to the beginning of September. Over there, the climate is usually sunny and dry, as sunny durations turn around 3,000 hours and averages annual rainfall hover around 500 millimeters. On the coastline along the Red Sea, the summertime is long from June to September and extremely hot, with averages high temperatures from 40 degrees Celsius to 46 degrees Celsius, and it's even hotter in the Dekalia area. The wintertime is nearly non-existent, and average highest temperatures remain around 28 during the least hottest month of the year, and the average low temperatures exceed 20 degrees. The rainy season along the coastal north of the Decalion falls during the winter months, but rainy days still remain scarce. Rain is even more rare in the Decalion region. The climate is always sunny and dry in this zone, and cloudy days are very rare. In the western lowlands, the high temperatures are comparable to those on the coast in the hottest months of April until June. December is the coldest month, with average lows falling as low as 15 degrees. The rainy seasons are the same as for the highlands. Here are the 6 administrative regions of Eritrea. The Mekelle region, which is central. It has a population of 1 million, and the capital of it is Asmara. The Ansab region. It has a population of 893,587, and its capital is Keren. The Gash Barka region has a population of 1,103,000. Its capital is Barantu. The Debub region, which is the southern region, has a population of 1,476,000, and its capital is Medicera. The northern Red Sea region has a population of 897,454, and its capital is Massawa. And the last one is the southern Red Sea region. It has a population of 398,000, and its capital city is Asab. Those are the 6 administrative regions of Eritrea. Now we're going to talk about population density and distribution of Eritrea. The population density of Eritrea is 557.9 per square kilometers, meaning the population density of Eritrea is moderate. The population distribution of Eritrea is cool. In the Gash Barka region and the southern Red Sea region, it's all dispersed and does not really in one area. The south and central regions of Eritrea are dispersed in a way where a lot of people live in these cities that have a big population, like Merakabad and Asmara. This is the reason why a lot of people live in this area and it has a high density. The last area of distribution is the Ankara region and the northern Red Sea region. Both of these areas are dispersed, but they're dispersed in big clumps. Instead of being like the other two regions, how they're all dispersed in small clumps, this is dispersed in a lot of clumps. So that's why population for both are near a million. So now that we talked about the natural environment, we're gonna talk about the history. And there is over 5 centuries, but we're gonna talk about all of that right now. So let's do it. Now we're gonna talk about the history of Eritrea. Basically, the boundaries of the present-day Eritrean nation was established during the scramble for Africa. While other nations were taking over parts of Africa, Italy wanted to take over some of it. So as they saw a coaling station, they proclaimed and took over the space that is Eritrea and established it as a new colony of Eritrea. They took over Eritrea for about 40 to 50 years, but they lost it due to them losing World War III, because Benito Mussolini, when he came to rise to power in Italy, he was a fascist person. So he sided with Hitler and the Germans and fought in World War II. But since they lost it, then the Allies took over all of the land that Italy, Japan, and Germany have. This included Eritrea. The British had taken over Eritrea for over a year, and they couldn't take care of it anymore, and they knew it couldn't survive by itself, so they put it with the Federation of Ethiopia. Emperor Haile Selassie wanted to annex Eritrea and Italian Somaliland, which it had also. He said that it's basically the same country and he preferred if it was together so that there would be no tobaccos. But the Eritrean fighters didn't want to do this, so they fought it and created the Eritrean independence movement. After this, there was a war between Ethiopia's military and the Federation movement. Basically, it went on for 30 years, and Eritrea were fighting so hard. Eventually, in 1991, after years of fighting, they finally had stopped, and the UN had a referendum to finalize to see if Eritrea wanted to become independent. And obviously, the percentage of the referendum was gigantic. 95% of people wanted to separate it from Ethiopia. So in 1993, it became independent, and this is how Eritrea came to be. This is the history of Eritrea. So now we're talking on our third final topic, most including the rates, the economic development. We're going to be talking about some stuff about industries. So let's get to it. Now we're going to talk about the economy of Eritrea. Eritrea is one of those countries that have a rich environment and has lots of materials, but due to its situation, they can't use those resources, and its economy is evident of it. Agriculture is a massive industry in Eritrea. It nearly employs 80% of residents in the workforce. But even though agriculture employs nearly 80% of the population, agriculture doesn't account as much as other industries. It only accounts for 12.4% of the gross domestic product in Eritrea, while let's say the industry accounts for 26.2%, and it's less than a quarter of the workforce works in industry. So agriculture has a lot of residents, but not a lot of the GDP is from that. Now that we talked about industry, let's go into the industry. 10% of the workforce works in industry. A lot of the industry places are in Massawa and and Asmara. Even though it only has 10%, it accounts for 26.2% of the GDP, which is part of the reason why it's very profitable for Eritrea. And the highest one, even though it has the least amount of residents working, is the services. This includes military, power, storekeepers, government buildings, all of that stuff services. It nearly accounts for 61.4% of the gross domestic product, which is a lot, considering it only 5% of the workforce services. It's shocking how much, but it makes sense why services has this much while agriculture only has that much. This is where the money comes for the GDP. Here some rates for you guys. Birth rate is 30.69 births. Death rate 7.65. Male life expectancy 6.136. Female 65.72 and 63.54. The reason why some of these are really high and low is because the conditions are not so good for people who actually live in the country. The literacy rate is for males is 90.2. The female is 69.8. The obesity rate is 1.5. The infant mortality rate is 38.44. The fatality rate is 4.14, and the natural increase is 28.6. And the reason why all of these are so different is because of the ideals of the people. And the UN ranking, that's 186. The employment rate is 7.20. The energy consumption is 400 million kilowatts. The per capita is 1,188 per capita dollars. Gross domestic product is 3.4 billion, and the government poverty rate is 50 million. The reason why due to this is because of because the conditions and there's a lot of poverty in the nation for poor people who don't have the money to live, So the ranking, if you're a poor person, the life is not great for you. So we're on the last thing, basically where I tell you what's good about Eritrea, what's bad about Eritrea, and why you should go there for a vacation. So first thing, it has amazing food. I've had it, it's good. It has amazing music. It has a culturally distinct people, and has beautiful beaches and beautiful buildings and mountains. If you want to see all this beautiful stuff from the old times and you want to see that stuff, you should go to Eritrea. Some bad things about it is that you don't have that good of an internet service there. You don't have too much English, but there's still English there, but not a lot. Especially if you're foreigner, you might need someone to help you. And last of all, there's some poor people, so just be careful on the travel worry. But other than that, Eritrea is a really good place for you. So if you want to get a great vacation, just come to Eritrea. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.